Welcome! Today we will critically examine a public health study on vaccine supply in the Philippines. The Philippines' struggle with vaccine supply highlights several interconnected issues within its healthcare system and global vaccine distribution. Our group will give critique on the methodology in the research article entitled Challenges in Public Facilities and Services, Evidence from Geographically Isolated and Disadvantaged Areas in the Philippines by Zaldi Collado, published as a research article in the Journal of Global Health Reports, Volume 3, issued in 2019, as well as the research article entitled Vaccine Equity Implementation, Exploring Factors Influencing COVID-19 Vaccine Delivery in the Philippines from an Equity Lens by Zhao and others, published in BMC Public Health Journal in 2024. Now we go to the public health problem. The lack of vaccine supply in Philippine public health centers is a serious critical public health issue impacting the prevention of diseases. Vaccines are essential for preventing diseases such as measles, polio, and tuberculosis. This shortage or insufficient supply leads to low immunization rates, increasing the risk of outbreaks and disproportionately affecting vulnerable communities, thus compromising public health. This problem is particularly relevant in the Philippines, where significant disparities exist between rural and urban areas is already limited in terms of vaccine availability. The problem is particularly acute in rural areas where access to healthcare is already limited. Additionally, challenges such as inefficient distribution systems, limited funding, and inadequate infrastructure further exacerbate the issue, leaving many communities vulnerable to vaccine-preventable diseases. Now, the research question guiding this study is: what factors contribute to the lack of vaccine supply in Philippine public health centers, and how do these factors affect immunization rates? To answer this, researchers conducted thorough literature review to find relevant studies. Now we go to the study search process. Databases like PubMed, Google Scholar, and the Philippine Health Journals were searched using keywords such as vaccine supply issues in the Philippines, immunization challenges in public health, and factors affecting vaccine availability. We focused on peer-reviewed studies published within the last 5 years, specifically those related to the Philippines or Southeast Asia. Now, let's delve into the critique of the study's methodology.
Now, for the overview of the selected study. Our selected study was entitled Factors Influencing Vaccine Supply and Distribution in the Philippines. This study was aimed to analyze the factors affecting vaccine supply and distribution in public health centers across the country. The study was conducted as a nationwide study as it covered both urban and rural health centers, which focused on healthcare workers and the facilities themselves. Another related study, called Challenges in Public Health Facilities and Services, evidence from a geographically isolated and disadvantaged area in the Philippines, was published in the Journal of Global Health Reports, and it provides additional insights into the systemic challenges faced by the remote areas. Both of these studies highlighted critical barriers in vaccine supply and distribution, offering valuable context for understanding public health infrastructure in the Philippines. Next would be the study design. The study utilized a cross-sectional survey design which was chosen to provide a snapshot of vaccine supply and the factors contributing to its availability at a specific point in time. This approach allowed for a comprehensive assessment of the current challenges in the vaccine distribution and supply within the public health centers in the Philippines. Data collection method. The data sources are from the structured surveys administered to the healthcare providers and a review of health center records and vaccine inventory data. The sampling method they used was a stratified random sampling of public health centers across the regions. And the data points they collected are stock levels, different reasons for supply chain delays, storage facilities, and several funding issues. Variables and measurements. There are independent and dependent variables seen in the study. The dependent variables would include logistics of vaccine, storage capacity, funding, and the training of healthcare workers in the specific public health centers across regions. And then the dependent variables would include the vaccine availability in public health centers. They use different measurement tools like questionnaire scales, which use Likert scale, and then stock audit reports, which they reviewed. Strengths of the methodology. The methodology of the study had several strengths. It featured comprehensive data collection from multiple regions, ensuring a broad understanding of vaccine supply challenges across different areas. The use of stratified random sampling enhanced the representativeness of the findings by accounting for variations between urban and rural health centers. Additionally, the triangulation of data sources, including surveys and inventory records, increased the reliability and validity of the study's result. Critique of the sampling methods. For its strengths, since it used stratified sampling method, it captured and represented the differences between the rural and urban areas in terms of the different factors that plays a role in their vaccine supply. And also, it has a very sufficient sample size for their statistical analysis. However, for its weaknesses, it excludes the remote or far-flung areas, which has limited the study's generalizability. Also, it overrepresented the better equipped urban centers versus the rural health centers.
Potential biases. Response bias. Participants may have tendency to respond in particular ways. Example, agree or disagree mother. Selection bias. Sampling bias under selection bias. Original status specific population. Example, rural or urban. Reporting bias. Under reporting bias, republication bias, so original study more likely to be published in this reported significantly or position result rather than Rawls or negative results. Limitation in data collection. Sampling limitation, original study that may have used a non-probability sampling methods which may not representative larger population in urban or rural area. Measurement limitation that original study may have used invalid or either unreliable or research conduct. Study outcomes. Potential study outcome, the primary outcome is identification of methodological flows and study and identify methodological flow in original public health studies such as bias sampling data collection or analysis part. Implication. This may critique the implication of methodological flow of public health policy. Comparison with alternative methods. Vaccines are recognized worldwide as one of the most important tools for combating infectious diseases.
So for the ethical considerations, we have the following. Let me summarize to you what are the ethical considerations. Ethical measures to be taken, we have the informed consent from the participant and confidentiality of health center data. For the concern, we have the potential pressures on healthcare workers to respond positively about the government interventions. To summarize, ethical considerations in this study focuses on informed consent and confidentiality. Participants were fully informed about the study's purpose, risk, benefits, ensuring voluntary consent with the right to withdraw at any time. Strict confidentiality protocols were followed, including anonymization of data and secure storage. However, a key concern is the potential pressure on healthcare workers to provide positive feedback on government intervention to address this, ensuring a safe and transparent environment, reinforcing anonymity and reassuring participants of non-retaliation are crucial for maintaining unbiased responses. Okay? Next, we have the policy implications, wherein we have the recommendations and alignment with the national policies. So for this one, to improve vaccine distribution in the country, strengthening the supply chain management is essential. This includes upgrading transportation networks, storage facilities, reducing delays, especially in remote areas. Increased funding for logistics and cold chain technologies is necessary to maintain vaccine efficiency and minimize wastage. Implementing real-time inventory tracking system can prevent stock shortages and ensure equitable distribution. This strategies aligns with the Philippine Expanded Program on Immunization, or the EPI, supporting increased vaccine coverage and efficient distribution, particularly for the underserved communities. Strengthening these areas will help overcome vaccine supply challenges and improve nationwide immunization rates. Next, we have the visualization. So the WHO and UNICEF cover the immunization estimating for the country from year 2012 to 2022, wherein it shows a general decline from year 2014 to 2020, with a noticeable drop in year 2020 due to COVID-19 pandemic. This decline affected multiple vaccines, including DTP, polio, measles, and hepatitis B. However, a slightly recovery was observed in year 2021 to 2022, reflecting efforts to restore vaccination programs. Among the vaccines, the pneumococcal showed an improving trend, while rotavirus, or the Rota-C, had the lowest coverage. Moving forward, strengthening vaccine logistic, addressed hesitancy, and improving healthcare access are crucial to achieving pre-pandemic immunization rates and ensuring widespread protection against preventable diseases. Okay? Next, for the conclusion and discussion question, let me summarize this slide. The study identifies key factors affecting vaccine supply in the country, but it acknowledges limitations such as sampling biases and lack of qualitative data. To improve the vaccine distribution, strengthening cold chain infrastructure, expanding distribution networks, and utilizing technology for tracking are essential. Local governments play a crucial role by allocating resources, organizing outreach programs, and coordinating with national agencies. Future research should include field studies, real-time monitoring, and participatory research to better understand challenges in remote areas. Overall, the study provides valuable insights but needs methodological improvements to capture a more comprehensive picture. So that ends our discussion for our topic. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.